Hello and welcome everyone to the exclusive interview with Sam Davidson from Night Zookeeper. Sam Davidson is one of the founders of Night Zookeeper. It's an educational program designed to make reading and writing fantastically fun for children's ages 6 to 12. They are based in London, UK, and he is passionate about how storytelling, technology, and games can have a big impact on children's attitude to learning. Thanks for joining us, Sam.
Thanks so much for having me. It's really fun to be here.
So if you're just joining us now live, go ahead and comment where you're joining us from and who you have joining us. And if you're watching the replay, be sure to comment replay so that we can answer any questions that you might have as you watch the video. So I want to ask first, for those of you who might not be familiar, what is Night Zookeeper?
Yeah, it's a good question. So Night Zookeeper is a educational program. It's aimed at children ages 6 to 12. And we basically designed it to try and make reading and writing really, really fun. It's based on the Night Zoo world. So the first challenge that kids get to do is create their own animal character, and then they get to give that animal a name and then start to write about it. And the more that they write about their character, the more powerful it becomes. And then the animal starts to give them different spelling, grammar, vocabulary challenges. So it's kind of an English language curriculum wrapped up in a game.
So why did you make Night Zookeeper?
Yeah, so originally we were really looking at kids in schools, and it was created by a couple of my other co-founders with me. One of them was an elementary school teacher, and he noticed that kids were really struggling with writing and kind of putting their ideas down on a piece of paper was becoming more and more difficult. And there are a lot of programs being made to kind of deal with mathematics, some reading programs, simple spelling programs, but there was nothing really being made to focus on writing and make the writing experience more fun for this generation of children who are maybe more used to being satisfied quickly by answering a maths question and getting it correctly, whereas writing is obviously a little bit more difficult and a little bit more subjective. So it started from that, and it was also combined with the other co-founder, who is my brother, and he created this Night Zoo story. And what we realized is that when there was a theme that kids could learn around, it could really kind of make them so much more interested in the work that they were doing. So it actually started as a school project where we would go into a school and we would get them to, first of all, paint and draw a animal character. And then we would do a writing lesson where they would need to tell us what's the animal's special power, what does it eat, where does it live. And then we would do a physical education lesson, and we would get the kids to show how that animal moves. And then we would do a music lesson, and we would get the kids to create the sound effect for that animal. So it's using the Night Zoo as a theme to kind of inspire a whole bunch of different learning skills and creativity. And that evolved over time into using technology to create this Night Zoo where thousands and thousands of kids were uploading their animal characters and writing about them and creating their own little stories in their own world in the Night Zoo. And we saw that that had such a big impact on the attitude and the interest in kids, especially when it came to the writing aspect. So that's how we kind of continued and got to the point of the program today, which is obviously the Night Zoo, but now encapsulates all of the skills that you would need in language arts.
So tell me a little bit about the world of Night Zookeeper.
Yeah, so essentially there's a Night Zookeeper, and his job is to take care of magical animals in this world. And so when children join it, they also become a Night Zookeeper, and they get to create their own Night Zoo world. But of course, it's all from their own imagination and from their own writing skills. So there are characters that also appear in it, which appear also in the books, and there's a Night Zoo world, but it's more like a kind of theme or a canvas that we give to children for them to kind of use as a base for their imagination to then start creating their own stories and their own characters, and obviously learn all the skills that they'll need by kind of exploring that world.
So, what would you say makes you different from the other creative writing programs that are available? We kind of touched on this a little bit, but I'd like to get into more of the details. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of important features that you feel like make you different?
So yeah, I mean, I think the first one is the gamification of writing. Um, you know, within the program, there's spell checks, there's vocabulary assistance, there's a whole bunch of things you would find in a regular, writing tool. But there's so many more different awards going on when you write. So, for example, the basic thing is if you create an animal, the longer your description of that character, the more powerful that animal becomes in your night zoo. And then we also have different awards every month where if you write a poem or if you write a persuasive writing piece, you'll win awards that then you can use in the night zoo. And we also have different achievements. So, for example, if you write 500 words, you unlock a different part of the program. Or if you write 10 reports, you'll then unlock a different part of the program. So there's that. I guess reward and gamification system is really designed for kids who love writing, but also on the other side, which we see quite a lot, which is kids who really struggle putting pen to paper, by giving it a kind of world that they can explore in and then actually get rewarded for all their ideas that they put in. Then we've seen some really transformational results for kids who previously hated writing. And I would say the other thing is that at the price point we have, all of the work that children write is checked by tutors and moderators, and we give feedback to the kids on their writing. And if they edit their work, they'll get extra points. So that's a really fun thing because all the work is checked and moderated. We then have these global blogs where children's work is being shared with other children from around the world, and we have children in 40 different countries that use the program, and they can safely, in a moderated environment, read each other's writing and be inspired by that.
So you're providing a community, a gamified experience, and a lot of feedback from people who are knowledgeable and are actually going to be able to help teach the kids, along with
exactly. So,
all the lessons and the fun games. So you guys have a lot.
Yeah, we do have a lot. And all of our tutors are qualified elementary school teachers and primary school teachers in the UK. So the feedback is really good. And importantly, it's not critical. There'll be some elements where they pick out a few things that could be improved, but we know that getting the balance right between critical feedback and encouragement is really important. So we try and keep that balance. And some of the feedback we get, especially from homeschool parents, is they love that someone else can be the bad guy for them when they're giving feedback to their kid, because it's someone different, it's a real person, and it's not them.
So how are homeschoolers using Night Zookeeper?
Yeah, so I think it's used in so many different ways. So because it is a full language arts program, it covers all of the skills required. It's used as a full language arts curriculum by some homeschool families, and that's what they use as their core product. The other way we see it being used is a kind of motivational tool. So we've talked to lots of homeschool parents who say, I let my kid play it for half an hour in the morning. They think that they're kind of playing a game, but I can see they're learning. And then we move on to, potentially workbook activities or different parts of the curriculum. So it's really being utilized in different ways. So it could be, your full language arts program, but it also could be that supplemental activity that you use to reward or motivate your child and give them that opportunity to be a bit more independent. Because it's designed for a kid to it's very kid-led. They can play through it. You can let them, do their stories and play through the challenges. And obviously you can check on your parent dashboard what they've been writing, check the feedback from the tutor, and check all of the challenges and curriculum they've been covering. But at the same time, they can kind of get on and play it independently. So it's really being used in different ways. But the feedback we've had from homeschool families is really good. And we love, hearing how it's changed the attitude of their kid, who I think the last kind of customer I talked to was talking about the last time they were trying to get their kid to write. He went under the table and just refused to get back again until he didn't have to write anymore. and he's the kid that's now written 1,000 words on the program with in the first 3 or 4 weeks of using it. So as a kind of, I guess, an attitude changing tool, it's been really good, an intervention tool for kids who are really hating writing, but also as a full curriculum that can cover all the skills that you need to teach.
So, what is the cost for Night Zookeeper? Can you kind of
Yeah, so
run that through that with me?
yeah, so the annual plan for one child is $60 per year, so that's less than $5 a month. And we do have monthly options, which are $12.99 a month. But there's a 7-day free trial, so anyone can sign up, and if you're not loving it, then you can cancel at any time in the parent dashboard. But yeah, I mean, we really encourage, because we have lots of people saying, do you think my kid will like it? Do you think it will work for them? We would just say, try it, because every kid is different, but we've seen really good results for kids who've struggled with any kind of language arts learning, in particular writing. And yeah, you obviously, that includes the tutor feedback, so it's less than $5 a month to get that feedback from another person on your kid's writing, and there's so much in there that we think it's really, really good value.
So we've talked a little bit about the different skills that Night Zookeeper teaches. Can you give me kind of a rundown of all the different skills that it teaches? We talked
Yes.
about writing.
Yeah, so there is a focus on writing, but also reading comprehension. A lot of the games and a lot of the challenges within the program will be teaching new vocabulary, which the child will be rewarded for using in their writing. And then the basics of grammar, punctuation, basically all across language arts learning. We've tried to cover all the skills that would be needed, and it's taught in a variety of ways. So writing might be scaffolded writing prompts, so it's kind of helping the kid formulate a story, and within that story, they may be required to use different words or different adjectives and nouns, and they'll be taught those and rewarded for the different varieties of writing they do. As I mentioned, they'll be taught persuasive writing, poetry writing, report writing, instructional writing, all kinds of different writing. So it really covers the whole curriculum. And then there's word games, which are a bit faster, and they just teach vocabulary or teach spelling. And then there's video lessons where they may be a bit more passive and reading, watching a video and then answering questions afterwards. So it's kind of got a variety of different learning styles, and it's really designed to keep that engagement high.
Oh, that's really neat that you have different learning styles. So you have different materials that work for different kinds of learners. So, and
Yes.
then because people have found that almost every child is a combination of learning styles that they learn
Yes.
best. And so by utilizing all of those, you basically are making it so that no matter what learning style or combination your kid is, they're going to have lessons that help to be able to teach them that creative writing and persuasive writing and poetry.
Definitely, yeah. So having worked with kids pretty closely over the last 10 years, yeah, we really we've tried to understand the differences, and obviously every kid is unique, but the program is designed to kind of try and address all of the different learning styles that kids have, and then within that, the parent dashboard in the parent dashboard, features can be turned on and off. And I mentioned, for example, that kids could write a story and it could be shared on the program if the parent would rather it was a private program, or the social aspects can be turned off.
Oh, wow.
If a child is much more of a focused learner on writing, you can switch the games off for a certain period because you want them to concentrate on things. You can also send from your dashboard different writing assignments and lessons, so if you want them to focus on that, you can turn areas of the program off. So it's completely personalizable in terms of how the parent wants to use the program.
Oh, I can definitely see that how that would be beneficial. I know that my mom, when she used other programs like Khan Academy, that was one of the features that was like her top feature that she liked, is being able to turn on and off different features and assign
Right.
lessons is a big one. So I think that's really neat
Yes.
that you guys have that available in the parent dashboard. So, um, changing the subject, I want to know a little
Yeah,
bit more about your background and your
yeah,
qualifications with Night Zookeeper.
yeah, definitely. So as I mentioned, there's two other co-founders. One was the elementary school teacher on the education side, then my brother, who is the creator of Night Zoo, and I actually I was working in video games. Um, so my background is in creating video games. I actually lived in Japan for 10 years working in video games, and it was at that time when my brother was in actually working in the United States, and Paul, the other co-founder, was in London, and I was in Japan, that we created Night Zookeeper. Um, and seeing how games can have such a big impact on kids' learning was something I really wanted to bring to Night Zookeeper. And it's been really fun to see all of this work and the program come to life with hopefully all of our different skill sets working to create something that is creative, but importantly very educational, but fun enough so that kids can actually engage with it, because obviously there's no point in buying something if the kids don't want to do it.
Right, and so you guys are making it really fun for people to be able to learn these skills, and you make it really super easy to customize. So I
Yeah,
do also want to talk about some of your offline resources, like the book
yeah,
series and worksheets that you guys offer.
yeah. So we have a Night Zookeeper book series, which is based on the Night Zoo world, which is again written by my brother. What's cool about it is that at the end of each book, we include stories that kids have been writing on the website, and all of the books have been written in collaboration with children on the website. So we've often put up projects on the website where we've asked them for ideas about what might happen or new characters that could feature in the book, and then we've worked with the children directly to put those ideas into the story. So they're not. We get this question, so I guess I'll say it's not essential to using the online program. They're completely separate, but obviously, if the kid is into the program, it's a fun little extra for them to actually read stories, and also take part potentially in creating future books for the series. And we also have offline resources. You get a free offline resource every month as part of the subscription. But we also have reading and writing packs in our shop, which are priced. But we also have a resources section on our website, which is completely free and has hundreds of different downloadable worksheets for free. If you Google Night Zookeeper resources, there's reading comprehension resources, writing resources, all kinds of different things that you can get for free, which are really useful and nicely Night Zookeeper designed resources that you can download for free.
Okay, I do have to ask you though about the cartoon. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so unfortunately, so far we've it's been released in the UK and China and Iceland, which is a little bit random. But we want to bring it to the United States. But yeah, in 2019, again, we using and working with kids and ideas from the program, we created an animated TV series that featured characters that kids had created on the website. So we called it the kind of first co-created animated series. And again, it's based on the Night Zoo world. It's about Will, who is our Night Zookeeper character, using his creativity to save the Night Zoo from some monsters that are attacking the Night Zoo. And it's a kind of fun animation series featuring kids' ideas, which was a lot of fun to make.
So, do you have anything else that you would like to tell our watchers?
No, I guess I would just say if you're interested in Tool, then it would be great if you tried the 7-day free trial. I think that you've got the link there for them to check it out. As I said, like it can have a really big impact on kids' education and on their attitude. A real focus on kids who potentially are just not really enjoying writing, not enjoying their language arts lessons. We've had thousands of pieces of feedback from homeschool families where it's made a really big difference. So we'd really encourage you to give it a try and see how it works for your child or children.
Thank you so much for joining us, Sam. I really appreciate you coming on here and taking time out of your busy schedule to answer our questions.
No worries. Thanks very much for having me.
Bye, everyone.